What's good? Peace and blessings. What's good? Much love and respect. Much love and respect. I appreciate you guys for tuning in once again. If you can do me the favor and let me know if you can hear me at this moment. Just need a sound check. Just need a sound check. Much love. Mic check, y'all. Mic check. Mic check. Let me know if you can hear me with a 1 in the chat. Thank you. What's good with you? You see the topic. The topic is going to be dealing with some of the things that we see or witness every day, whether it's in your community, whether it's in the media, social media, on the news. We see our people getting pulled over left and right. Not just our people, but many other nationalities also. But just so happen, when our people get pulled over, it's always definitely highlighted. Yeah, it's highlighted when our people get pulled over. For whatever reason, our people are pulled over. I need the 1 in the chat to know if I'm heard. I appreciate it if you can do that right now. Before I go on, I would like to make sure that the volume or the audio is working properly. Still need that 1 in the chat. Much appreciated. The title or the subject that we're going to be dealing with is a son. Now, I want you to keep that in mind. This is a son, 22 years old, punched in the face by the police recently. This is one of the videos that have been going viral. And it's getting a lot of feedback, whether it's negative or positive. It's getting a lot of feedback. I want to know basically what's your take on the situation. I want to know what's your take. I want to know what you think regarding this situation. Okay, a man driving in Florida, that is, and he get pulled over. Now, one thing I always ask myself, why? No matter what the situation is, I always ask myself why. Or how could this have been prevented? There's a lot of dirty cops in the world. There's a lot of dirty people in the world. There's a lot of disrespectful people. There's a lot of disrespectful police officers in the world. Can two things be right at the same time? Yes. Can two things be wrong at the same time? Yes. The police officers was loud and they were wrong. What I found out, what I looked into a little more, and I just saw a few more videos. I waited for a little while because I was definitely going to have a reaction on this particular topic. But I wanted to wait just a little while just to see what comes out of the verdict and what other information they had. So just so happened, I saw this video. And it made me angry at the time. It really made me angry. It made me a little angry. So this is the video that we were shown. This is the video that we were shown. Let me know if you guys hear me good. I need to know if you can hear me really, really good. That's important. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Testing 1 2. Let me know if you can hear me pretty good. All right. This video right here, I seen, and I think most of us seen this particular video, and it made everybody upset. It made everybody upset. This video right here. Let's see. Let me grab it for you real quick. All right. I got a confirmation that the sound is better. It was muffled a little bit. But this is what we're going to look at really quick. Let's see. Here we go.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle.
Days after William McNeil Jr.
Now, if you notice that video was going viral. When I first seen that, I was like, man, they wrong, man. This is disrespectful. He definitely got a lawsuit. He's calm. He's not doing anything. He's not doing anything. He took that punch on the chin. And I want to say, the police officer, your punch was weak, and you were wrong big time. You got to take accountability for that. And if he sue or the family sue, they definitely going to win as far as that situation is concerned, whether they want him fired, whether they want some type of compensation for his suffering, pain. And I think he supposedly had a chipped tooth, also blood in his mouth, all that. They pulled him out the car, threw him down, punched him again. All of that, I say, disrespectful. It was definitely police brutality, and we all can agree on that. And I know that is a fact. No one condones that type of excessive force, especially for a simple traffic stop. You know, that's very disrespectful, man, and they should go down for that. They should lose their job. They should definitely be sued, and he should be rewarded some monies in that part. As I was talking about in the beginning, which is, can two things be wrong at the same time? Can two things be right at the same time? Yes. While we get through this particular video, I want to make sure, I'm going to ask you guys about 10 questions, and I want you to engage with me on that. I want to see your perspective on it and what you think. I definitely think the police officers should be trained a little more. I think they should be compassionate about certain things when they approach a certain situation. Yeah, but at the same time, I've done a few reaction videos on young men and women being pulled over. And I do believe there are certain things that these young men and women, our young Black people, should consider and try their best in doing. When being pulled over, there's certain things that should be done so that it won't be escalated. Because we already know that, you know, there are crooked officers, whether they're Black or white, Spanish, Dominican, no matter what nationality there are some crooked officers that's in authority. We're clear on that. You know this. You have seen this over and over and over again. Why does this type of situation always repeat itself? I'm going to tell you why. After seeing this video right here, everybody was pissed. We all was pissed. It was wrong.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle.
Days after William McNeil Jr. released this cell phone video of his violent traffic stop in Florida,
Justice for William McNeil. Justice for William McNeil.
the fallout continues to grow. The video shows Jacksonville sheriff's officers shattering his car window.
Notice he looked at his camera because he knew he was live. The police officers really didn't even realize he was live or he was recording this whole incident.
Punching him across
He
the
stayed
face
calm.
and dragging him
I respect him on that.
from his vehicle before placing him under arrest.
They were wrong.
Today, McNeil spoke publicly.
Took the seatbelt off him. Not sure if he had a seatbelt on prior to being pulled over. It's a possibility, or may not.
For the first time.
That day, I just really wanted to know, why I was getting pulled over and why I needed to step out the car when I knew I didn't do nothing wrong.
McNeil later pled guilty to resisting arrest without.
Now, that's the part right here that most people didn't see when it first came out. This part right here. Most people didn't see this particular situation. So when I did see this, it made me think, hold up. Now, here's a whole nother situation. This is a video that was released by the police, and this should be talked about as well. Let's watch. Let's watch. Here we go. Good morning, Ness Powers. Much blessings to you and the family. Peace and blessings. This where the sounds come on.
Yeah, Florida 24 Bravo Echo Charlie Whiskey on a silver Kia. I don't know occupants.
Mind you, remember I said, and we all understand that two things can be right at the same time and two things can be wrong at the same time. So I started doing reaction videos talking about loud and wrong. The police was loud and they were wrong. All right. It was also some topics called police brutality versus Black accountability.
Yes, sir.
Is there a reason why you're popping the door open like that?
Now, mind you, when he pushed the door open, kicked the door open with his foot, that kind of startled the police. Now, think about police officers watching videotapes in their training classes on somebody or many people that they have seen on video that they study, somebody open the door and turn around and bang, 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 bang. This is going through their head possibly. Now, that's why you should never make sudden moves when being pulled over by the police, because you got to take in consideration some of the situations that may have happened that you've seen live. Some people been unalived in situations when they suddenly make drastic moves real quick. Those are lessons. And these are some of the things we got to inform our young people about, our children, our nephews, our children, our cousins, younger cousins, or the younger generation. We need to let them know these things because they don't know. They think this is like a game, like auto death, you know what I mean? Death auto with a grand theft auto. Some of them not looking at this can go down real seriously and your life can be in danger by making sudden moves when it comes to police officers. That's why I always talked about years ago when in the 40s, 50s, 30s, how our people then were very cautious and they taught their younger what to do and what not to do when you go out there in them streets, because we don't want you to be one of those strange fruits hanging in the tree. It was a reason why they were wise in teaching and guiding the younger generation when it comes to situations like this. No matter right or wrong, some things you have to just take and fight in court. You can't fight it right there on the street. Let's go
I
on.
have a window that works. Is there a reason that you're pulling me over?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why I'm pulling you over. For one thing, inclement weather, you don't have your lights on. Two things, you're not wearing your seatbelt.
It's daylight. I don't need the lights. And it's not weather. It's not raining.
This is inclement.
Now, mind you, he never said, I am wearing my seatbelt. Never said that. And the way it looked, it don't look like he has a seatbelt on right now. The way he's out of the car, one leg out of the car. All right. Now his hand down by his leg. So two things can be right and wrong at the same time. Push the door open, sudden move, startle the police officer. Okay, let's look at this now. Now this part I didn't see. And when I seen it, okay, it made me say, oh, no wonder why he was that aggressive. Not condoning what that cop did, because that shit was wrong, all right? I'm not condoning it. It was wrong in 2 left feet. All right?
It's not raining.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
No.
That right there. No. All right, let me look at something real quick. Now, whether you realize it or not, but I think in Florida or many states, a lot of states definitely recommend you to follow instructions when it comes to being pulled over by the police. I think that's in the law. If I'm not mistaken, but if you can check it out yourself, let me know if I'm wrong or right. All right? Let me know if I'm wrong or I'm right. But yes, it says in Florida, it is a law that you must obey a police officer's lawful order to exit your vehicle during a traffic stop. It says the U.S. Supreme Court decision Pennsylvania in 1977. It was versus Mims, whatever that is. All right. Applies nationwide, including Florida. It gives officers the authority to order a driver out of the car without needing to give a reason during a lawful stop. All right. Now, not only didn't ask him right then and there to get out the car, he only asked him for his license and registration. Let's look back.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
And dude said, no, I don't care what nobody say. To the young people that's listening, do not tell the police officer no. And there's a lot of viral videos going on with some of the Moors and some of the people that know their rules and regulations regarding you don't have to give your license and registration because you're traveling and you're not of the state or not of this earth or not of this world or whatever the case may be. But whatever they know it to the T. Some of them even have their books. Some of them even have the law statements on them, and they can regurgitate or verbalize and articulate why they should not be given their license, registration, and whatever the case may be. And those are the words that they use. Why am I being pulled over? But know that they know what the hell they talking about. So a lot of our young people are taking some of the information that they getting from these viral videos and don't know what the hell they talking about. Again, two things can be right and wrong at the same time. And my perspective on this situation right here when this young brother said no.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
No, call your supervisor.
See, that's wrong. First of all, like I said about those guys that know what the hell they talking about, they got their shit together and they don't be disrespectful. Their tone don't be disrespectful. I want you young guys to understand that. Young ladies, understand that. Tone don't be disrespectful. Now, if you're listening to the police officer, you hear this. Was the police officer disrespectful in his tone? Let's go back.
Yeah, Florida.
Yes, sir.
Is there a reason why you're popping the door open like that?
I don't have a window that works. Is there a reason that you're pulling me over?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why I'm pulling you over. For one thing, inclement weather, you don't have your lights on. Two things, you're not wearing your seatbelt.
It's daylight. I don't need the lights, and it's not weather. It's not raining.
Oh, this is inclement.
It's not raining.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
No, call your supervisor. Why?
Excuse me?
Call your supervisor. Why did you pull me over?
77, 35. I'm properly done.
When they start doing that, 70, 75, 35, 24, 48, 75, come on then, check. It's a problem. You disobeyed a lawful order. Young people, you have to know the law regarding these type of situations and these stops. You cannot say no to a police officer regarding a stop, regarding your license, registration, and your insurance. Outright no with an attitude, like no, call your supervisor. See, you heard this a lot. You heard this being said a lot, but you heard it from people who know what the hell they're doing, and they're saying it not only with, not only do they know what they're saying it with a little more disrespect. Sir, yes, I'm this, that, and the third, sir, by law, under the 326, 84, 85, I don't have to, because I'm a traveling man. I'm traveling. This vehicle is not being used for corporations or no type of, business dealings and anything like that. I'm just traveling. I have no passengers in this. You know what I mean? All of that. They go into all that. And you know what? The police, some of them don't know that law, but they know that this man understands the law and giving them the numbers of the actual law that they're talking about, and it makes them think, and they sit back and be like, damn, maybe I better listen because this guy know what the hell he's talking about, and he's not being disrespectful. He's not just saying outright no with no reason. You know what I mean? Guaranteed, if young dude knew the law and what he was talking about, the police officer wouldn't ever said 2, 3, 4, 75. Come on in, listen, back up, because this is, you know what I mean? He would never have done that. I've seen a lot of videos. Let's go on.
I've already told you.
Why did you pull me over?
Step out of the vehicle.
No.
Step out of the
And said no again. And said no again. Now, again, two things can be right and wrong at the same time. And then close the door. Slam. I didn't see that part. A lot of us didn't see that part when it first came out because they were actually holding that stuff back for a reason. A lot of times, we've seen videos where police officers was definitely dead wrong. And once again, I am not condoning none of the stuff that they did. They were dead wrong. Two things can be wrong at the same time. All right? Now, far as Black accountability, we always call the race card. That's something that you have seen. That's something that I have seen. We always pull the race card. And this is a fact. There is not One situation that I've seen in this space, far as police being pulled over, pulling over people, always a race card. Spanish people do it. All nationalities do it. You know what I mean? They do it. They pull the race card. All right? So, as you watch this video, the part that you already seen just now, me and you looked at it. You probably seen it yourself already when it first came out, when the evidence came out. Did you say to yourself, when you saw this part, he was right? Did you say to yourself, when you saw this part, was young man right? I don't know. But the way it looked, I don't think he was 100% right on that part. Now, let's go on. Let's go on.
For 9-4, the driver just slammed the door and locked it.
There you go. 25-7, 35 for anybody that's time. You know what I mean? He giving them all the information and knowing the camera is on as well. So that can't be denied. The camera don't lie. All right? So he's calling in exactly what he's saying. We're talking now about black accountability.
Yep.
And he's still on that. What's your reason for pulling me over? First of all, they ran your plates. If the car is yours, they ran the plates knowing that your license is not right. And that's one of the reasons why it's a possibility you said no. They already know that. And if it's someone else's car, they know that you're driving. And you're telling them no, and you don't have license, registration, or insurance, and you're saying no, you're disobeying a lawful order. Young people understand that. Understand that. You can't just look at these viral videos where some of the people that you have seen got off and said, to the police officer say to them, okay, thank you, have a good day. You know what I mean? Because I think they are being aware of, the police department understand that the situation about a traveling man just traveling, or traveling woman just traveling, and they are a Soviet, I don't know. So I don't know all about that at all. So don't get me to lying. But it's some legitimate stuff going on as far as you putting yourself down as a person that can just operate a vehicle with no license, registration, or insurance if you're just traveling. They got it down pat. And I'm gonna learn some of that stuff because I need to know what they know. You know what I mean? Because I've seen people just drive off and the police officer just leave them alone. But whatever it is, they know what the hell they're talking about. But you, young man, if you haven't studied it, I'm not just talking about this young man. I'm talking about you who are watching it. If you can just share this video with a few people, even your nephews, your little cousins, you know, your little brothers, you know, please share this video with them because this is stuff they don't know. They don't know this stuff, man. They don't know that there are laws set up to go against them. They don't understand that. There's laws put in place for a reason because they play these games or put in more rules and regulations as they go. And if you don't know that, you fall right into the trap, man. You fall right into the trap. I was definitely with him. I know you were with him as well. And I'm still with him. Don't get it twisted. I'm still with him when it comes to him being punched in the face, pulled out the car, dragged down, punched again. I'm with him on all of that. They wrong. But far as this right here, nah, I don't think it's not a good look for him. And I don't know this update, but I know it's not going to be good because
25 seconds. If anybody
this
responds,
right here is
follow
different.
up, block the vehicle, please. Keep your hands where I can see them, sir.
Now,
Yep, my camera's on too.
and now the police officers are afraid because you closed the door. The windows look a little tinted. As a matter of fact, they look a little dark. So this is why, if you notice, I have on for the both of them, for the police, when they get into that little segment and what they did wrong, and for the young man, that's why I have on the screen loud and wrong. All right? Loud and wrong. Police brutality versus black accountability. Now, I'm going to go to the chat real quick. Will, what's good? Peace and blessings. Once again, thank you so much, man. I appreciate if you can share the page. Good morning, Ness. If you can share the page, I appreciate it. Like, share, I appreciate it so much. Will says, people have no clue. Once you ask for a supervisor, the officers are supposed to stand down and wait. He asked for a supervisor, and they busted his window and punched in the face, then roughed him up once they pulled him out the car. I get it, and you're 100% correct. I agree. I totally agree. But what you have to understand too, Will, is when a police officer asks you for your license and registration, do you not supposed to give it to them? Or do you supposed to just wait until the supervisor come? Do you supposed to say no, Will? Do you supposed to say no? And this is where I'm coming in as far as accountability. I'm not disagreeing with you on that because that's very, very true. They supposed to get a supervisor down there. But do you supposed to do it with disrespect? Do you supposed to say no? Most times when people, I've seen it, you've seen it. When a person is pulled over, well, they are asked, license and registration, please. The person say, no problem. Could you please have your, your supervisor come down? I really appreciate it. Okay, the police officer right off the bat, no problem. We call them. Sometimes they do it right there in your face. And sometimes they'll just take your information and say, okay, I'm going to do that now. They go back to the car, look at information, and as they look up your information, the supervisor is on his way. And most times, the supervisor gets there with no problem. But the respect and the courtesy, the humility, no ego in the driver has an effect on everything. This is what I mean by accountability. Okay? So I agree with you, Will, that you're supposed to. But being in the real world, supposed to and reality is two different things. They always said you can get more flies with honey than shit. And that's a reality. Supposed to and reality, two different things. Let's go on with the video. But thank you for chiming in, Will. Great point, though.
I've already told you. Okay. Okay. Right now you're under arrest for resisting. You understand? You're under arrest for resisting. The longer you take us on, the worse it's going to be. Keep your hands where I can see them, sir. Okay.
Now, I don't know, at a certain angle when they had their cams on, I don't know if his car looked like it was dented in or something. It looked kind of like it had he had an accident or something because it looked dented in. Remind me if that part come up because I'm not sure. I think I saw that.
Sir, this is your last warning to open the vehicle and exit before we're going to break the window. Open the door and exit or we are going to break the window. Open the door and exit or we are going to break the window.
Now, as I said, in Florida, once again, when the officer gives you a lawful order, you are required to obey police instructions during a traffic stop. License, registration, insurance, you are legally required to provide these when requested during a lawful stop. Now, stepping out of the vehicle, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled, Pennsylvania, that police can legally order you out of the car and you must comply unless you're asserting a legal right for another reason, like an unlawful stop. But even then, it's safer to comply first and fight later in court. All right, so now that's a very important point. That's very good information. Why? It's definitely good information for our young people. We can't have our young people going out there thinking they can do and say what they want and they're going to get over. Okay, you can tell them they have rights. That's fine. But where are the rights going to work at? Be real. Where have we seen their rights work on the street at that time when the reality is there already, when the emotions is up, when the ego is up? When have the rights work? It never do. It never do. It don't work in good favor of the young people, and we've seen that. So we should not keep pushing the issue of when stuff like this happens and just make young people believe that you can see he was okay saying no. It was okay for him to not show his license. It was okay for him to be, disrespectful. And I know being disrespectful is not a crime. We understand that. We understand that. But in reality, when reality hits, disrespect means a lot at that moment. At that moment, disrespect means a lot. How you speak to someone in the tone means a lot. Again, I am not condoning what that officer did. Wrong. Dead wrong. Both officers. All three of them, all four of them. You know what I mean? For doing what they did, throwing him down, pushing his head to the ground, all that. The punch in the face outside the car, all that. The breaking of the window, the punch in the face, all that. Wrong. I'm with you. 100% wrong. But again, what about black accountability?
No, he's under arrest. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting.
Now, he did say call your supervisor a few times. But never once did he give a license, a registration, or insurance when he was pulled over. All right? So let's keep in mind, two things can be wrong at the same time. I think at this time he's talking to the other officer on the other side. And who knows? We don't know if that's the sergeant, a supervisor, or what.
Vehicle's blocked in. He's locked it up. He's putting the window down. The passenger side to talk to 25 seconds more.
At this time, the police officer has the little instrument that can break the window. He has it in his hand. As he already mentioned about 6-7 times that they're going to break the window, which I think was wrong. I mean, for a traffic stop, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, they scared to death. They don't know if this guy done murked somebody. They don't know if this guy got somebody in the car that is, unalive. They don't know none of this. So their fear of him possibly wanting to get away and try to off them is high. It's high. You have to understand it. It's high, man. Again, they watched a lot of training videos on officers getting unalive. You might not have seen them videos, but I'm quite sure they have some type of training where they get to see what's done to police officers. Well, what's done to police officers when they're not on their bike, when their I's are not dotted and their T's are not crossed. I'm quite sure they have watched a lot of that. And that is branded in their head, and the fear is on 1,000. And our young people need to know that.
Hey, I'm about to break the window. I'm about to break the window.
All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hands.
Here.
1033 at 1521 hours.
What is your reason? Step out. What is your reason? Step out now.
Get on the ground.
Don't fucking.
Get on the ground. Put your hands behind your back. I'm resisting. Hands behind your back. What's wrong with you?
What you mean? I was putting my hands behind my back. I was going wrong.
Ain't no talking now, man. Ain't no talking.
Fucking 2%. Bro, I was doing, bro. What's going on, man?
You're under arrest. That's what's going on.
No, bro.
Yes, bro. Yes.
Now, I'm going to rewind it just a little bit just to see, because I like to pay attention to details. I like to look at, what people don't see. I like to see the perspective that, of everything, you know what I mean? Because sometimes we don't look at everything. Sometimes we get emotional about certain things, you know what I mean? And we don't look at the fine things or the details of certain things. So I'm going to go back. Now, that was wrong. The police was dead wrong. I'm going to go back. I want to look to see if the car had any damage in the front of it. I see this damage on the side of the car.
Step out. What is your reason? Step out now.
Get on the ground.
Don't fucking.
Get on the ground.
And that's not a reason to pull someone over because their car is damaged. I'm not saying that. But it raised suspicion.
Put your hands behind your back. I'm resisting. Hands behind your back. What's wrong with you?
What you mean? I was putting my hands behind my back. I was going wrong.
Ain't no talking now,
on, man. Ain't no talking. Fucking talk that shit, bro.
Mind you, there were black officers there.
Doing, bro.
Now, look at the car. I don't know if they pushed that car in to make that car damage the way it looked. If you noticed that, y'all let me know, because I don't know, but it seemed like that car looks damaged in the front. Did the police officer do that? Or was it already like that? All right. Trying to pay attention to the details.
What's going on, man? You're under arrest.
A little closer. And it do look like, I don't know. I don't know if, because the hood look like it's pushed up a little bit. And then it got a big scrape on the side of the car. But I still don't know. Let's go on.
That's what's going on. No, bro. Yes, bro. Yes. Lawful reason, bro.
At this point, we don't know if there's a supervisor there or not. And that can be wrong for them not having one there. Maybe he's on his way. We don't know. But the punching, throwing down is wrong. Again, can two things be wrong at the same time? Can two things be wrong at the same time? Now, I got a question for you guys. I got a question. If this was your son, how would you want him to be handled in a situation like this? If this was your son, how would you want him to be handled in a situation like this? All right. So you can answer that question if this was your son. Feel free to answer that question. Let's go on.
You gonna throw my phone like that, bro? Yeah, I'm gonna take it off of you, bro. And I'm just trying to have a regular conversation with y'all, bro. That's not gonna work.
You just gotta see what the already.
So your partner.
I don't know. It looks like a piece of the bumper is another color. And it looked like the officer car may have pushed up against it as well. I don't know, but yeah.
Marijuana in his right pocket. Yes, it is. So why close the door if you see him pull up?
Marijuana. He said marijuana in the pocket. Let me hear that one more time.
And I'm just trying to have a regular conversation with y'all, bro. That's not gonna work.
You just gotta see what the already.
So your partner didn't even ask. Marijuana in his right pocket. Yes, it is. So why close the door if you see him pull up? Because, man, what you...
So now the black officer made a point. He said, so why close the door if you see him pulling up? Okay.
Me, he talking about arresting me and stuff, bro. I didn't do nothing.
It's called resisting, idiot.
I didn't do nothing wrong, bro.
I don't know.
Can you back me up to the car?
These are the little laws. These are the little laws that the young men have to understand and have to know. They have to know these little things, these little intricate details when pulled over, because the law will be used against them. The law will be used against them. That's why they say you have a right to remain silent. Facts. You are listening to DAP, D.A.P. I'm your host, David Adams. Please do me the favor, share and like the page. We're going to continue with the video. And if you like the content, if you like me bringing this content to you, I appreciate if you can go over to YouTube and press subscribe so you can be notified of more content. I just did a video on a fireman's, the life of a fireman. You need to go over there and watch that. Really deep content, really deep information Mike Harris has given us. You need to watch that regarding health, regarding all types of stuff, man. He went into a lot of details on a lot of different things, man. And these are some of the things that we need to know. I also did a podcast on Jersey City Public School, where some of the union workers was expelled. And some of the workers who are in certain other positions, the Jersey City Board of Education, or the Jersey City public school system, they had a lot to say about a lot of different things, and they were heard about a lot of different things, and they wanted to give their point of views on some things, and they are upset, they want answers, and they're not having it. So go over there and watch that full video because it's deep. But go ahead and press subscribe first. We're going to continue, all right, with this subject.
You can start rescue. 1067, approximately 30-year-old.
What up? You both my bro.
Now, when I seen him on the news, when I first seen him in the car, he looked very humble, cooperative, because they showed just a piece of the video. And I think that's what the media does. The media want to push the race thing. And they've been doing that for years. They want to push the racism thing, and they want to push fear. That's all they push. But they never show the other version of what happened. And seeing it, it gives it a whole different spin. It's a whole nother perspective.
25 cents. You can start.
Let me see.
You know, while I was getting pulled, while I needed to step out the car when I know I didn't do nothing wrong.
The way he said that, it didn't sound like he was confident when he said, and I didn't do nothing wrong. And then did a sniff. Like my granddaughter would say, fake crying, fake crying. But yeah, what was done to the brother, again, was wrong. 100%. I'm with you. I'm with him 100% that they were wrong in how they did that. 100%, I'm going to say it again. The police officers was wrong. And I'm also going to say to the young people, it's wrong when you say no. When a lawful police officer give you a lawful order regarding your license, registration, and insurance. That's wrong. Two things can be wrong at the same time.
I was really just scared.
The sheriff saying he does not anticipate criminal charges against the officers, but says an internal investigation has been launched to determine if the officers violated department policy. In the meantime, the officer who smashed the windows and threw the punches has been stripped of law enforcement duties pending the probe. ABC's Rena Roy has more.
Okay.
He's seen on video captured on his cell phone during this traffic stop in Jacksonville, Florida. And now William McNeil Jr. is speaking out for the first time about the incident from February that's now gone viral.
When I know I didn't do nothing wrong. I was really just scared.
In the video, the 22-year-old asks why he was stopped. Officers saying because his headlights were off.
There's no rain. It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Police say McNeil refused to exit the vehicle.
Can you call your supervisor?
You see the sheriff's deputy break the window and punch McNeil. He's pulled out of the car and dragged to the ground as he's placed under arrest. McNeil says the incident left him with a chipped tooth and wounds requiring 9.
Was that the chipped tooth in the front? Because it looked like it's really out completely, but if it's chipped, was that the chipped tooth? Please let me know if you guys know that.
To see that video made me go back to the moment when I was 22. It hurted.
This was a classic case of driving while black.
But police say that video tells only part of the story. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office releasing multiple angles of police body camera footage.
And that's the spin that a lot of people want to put on it. And I get it. You know what I mean? Because it definitely seemed like some racist crap. But because I believe that if that was a white guy, I don't think it would have happened like that. You know, I don't think it would have happened like that. It would have ended a little differently, I think. I don't think the window would have been broken. I don't think the punch would have came. I don't think the slam down would have been done either. So yeah, there is some prejudice tendencies here. There is some racist tendencies there as well. But once again, I'm big on what part do we play? Or do we don't play a part? Which one is that? Question. How would you react to this if this was your son? And how would you want your son? How would you handle the situation if this was your son? Now, of course, I was going to ask the question, do you think the officer used excessive force? That's outright, you know, I think that's definitely what happened. Another question, could the officer and the young brother be wrong? Put a 1 in the chat if you think the officer and young brother could be wrong at the same time. Put a 1 in the chat if you think the officer and the young brother could be wrong at the same time. That's what I need to know. Put that down. Next question would be, should we expect young men to stay calm if they already fear the police? Should we expect young men to stay calm if they already fear the police? You can answer that. Also, what's more important? What's more important? At that very moment, what do you think is more important? In that very moment, do you think more important is your rights or your life? What's more important? Now, another question. Have we failed to teach young people how to properly survive a police encounter? If you never said not one thing to young people, your nephews, your little cousins, your little nieces, you know, your little sisters, your children, if you never said one thing in reference to how to survive a traffic stop, a pullover, or police in general, and you know what goes on, you have witnessed it yourself, you've seen it yourself, you went through it yourself, and you never spoke to them about that and how to conduct yourself when things get out of hand, or when things, when they come at you in a way to agitate you. If you haven't spoke to them about it, do you think we failed our young people? Or are we failing them and not speaking to them on these things? You can put your comment in the comment board. Now, should police be retained or de-escalation tactics? Should police be retained on de-escalation tactics? Should they be locked up? Should they be hauled to the side and say, sit on the ground, sit on the sidewalk? But it looked like, or it seemed like, and it sounded like, in the video, the officer asked for permission from someone else. I'm about to win the window. Because he mentioned it a few times. Open the door, open the window, or get out the car, I'm gonna break the window. He said it a few times. And the young guy kept saying, get your supervisor. Why do you think these encounters keep ending violently? Systematic issue or street reaction? It's a good question. Why do you think this keep happening? Systematic racism? Or is it a street mentality? Is it a YouTube viral moment reaction? And them social media streets, I'm hearing a lot of young people quote the same thing, the exact same thing, in an exact same energy. Police officers are doing the same thing, the same type of tactics, and the same type of energy. What would you have done differently if you were in that car? What would you have done differently if you was in that car? Me? This is exactly what I would have done. I would have rolled all 4 windows down so they can see me once they're approaching the car. I'm rolling all 4 windows down. No question. That's one thing they don't have to ask me to do. I'm rolling them down. It's not being a punk. It's not being a wimp. It's not being what they say. How they say? Uncle Tom. It's not being none of that. I'm trying to make sure that everything goes smooth so I can get the ticket or whatever the case may be and keep moving and going on about my business because I got a destination to get to. That's it. I don't want to be a part of escalating the situation if there's no escalation need to be done. I got somewhere to go. I can remember a situation that happened. I was in, I think it's Detroit. Looking at homes, raggedy area. I'm talking about blocks and blocks and blocks of abandoned buildings and lots. I'm with a young man and I'm driving his car. He may not supposed to have been in a different state. I didn't know that until the lights came on in the back of us. He don't supposed to be in another state. Praying, I'm supposed to be. Blah, blah, blah. He was nervous. He was scared. You could see it in his face. He was shook. When I say this young man was shook, he was shook. So I said, bro, chill, relax. I got this. You just don't say nothing. That's it. Don't say nothing, bro. I got it. I knew my paperwork was right. He had insurance on the car. Registration was right. Everything was right. All right? So get pulled over, roll the windows down. I told him to put his hands on the dashboard. Sure enough, hands on the dashboard, windows down. I put the lights on in the car so they can see, so the fear can go down. I was taught this many years ago. Fear will go down right away. They see in the car, they see that I'm cooperating, they see my hands on the steering wheel. Cop came to the car. License registration. Oh, no problem, sir. Gave it to him. And as I gave it to him, I said, what's the reason for the stop? And he straight up said, oh, yeah, this area is yada, yada, yada with drugs and guns and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? When I say there was no cars going up and down these blocks, none. Were there people on the street? None. No cars parked in front of no doors around there. None. All right? So once I did that, gave it to him, and he said what he said, he went back to the car, came back and said, is it all right if I check the car? I said, no, sir, I have somewhere to go, and I'm really on a tight time budget, time schedule, you know what I mean? And see, he said, okay, sir, you have a good day. Gave me my license stuff back, put it up, rolled the windows up. My man on the passenger seat, he said, yo, what the hell? Bro, being polite, being kind. I'm saying, sir, my voice didn't go up. I wasn't aggressive. Why are you pulling me over? You know what I mean? And I just said, what's the reason for a stop, officer? Just like that, nice and calm, with respect, and he respected me back. And that was it. So the point I'm making is, the officer wrong in this situation. And so is the young man to a degree. And if you don't see the wrong in the young man to a degree, you are one who always like to escalate situations where it don't need to be escalated. If you only see the officers wrong and you watch this whole video and don't see that young man should have, or our young people should not take any accountability on how they act or how they respond, it's going to be a lot of situations like this. It's going to be a lot of situations like this, unfortunately. Real talk.
Last warning to open the vehicle and exit before we're going to break the window.
No, bro, I didn't do nothing.
It's called resisting, idiot.
Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters says multiple levels of supervision have reviewed the video and have determined the officer's actions were not criminal.
Social media is not reality. One video clip devoid of context can be very misleading.
Police say they found a knife and marijuana inside the car. McNeil is facing multiple charges, including resisting arrest without violence, as well as driving with a suspended license.
Oh, wow.
The officer who punched McNeil has been stripped of his badge, with an internal investigation now underway to determine if department policy was violated.
Wow, so I didn't know that part. I didn't know his license was suspended. I didn't know he had a knife in the car, on the floor. I didn't know that part. Did y'all guys know that? I'm glad the officer got suspended, or I don't know if his job is going to be taken or whatever the case may be, but they said that.
As well as driving with a suspended license. The officer who punched McNeil has been stripped of his badge, with an internal investigation now underway to determine if department policy was violated. McNeil's attorneys are calling for him to be fired.
No, call your supervisor.
Sir, this is your last warning. Call resisting, idiot.
Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters says multiple levels of supervision have reviewed the video and have determined the officer's...
Oh, wow. See, I'm watching this with you. The knife right there. Now, is it a possibility? Is it a possibility they could have put it there? I don't know. Did they mention that? The lawyers, the young man's lawyers, did they mention that they put a knife there? Did they ask him, did you have a knife? And he said yes or no? I don't know. So right now, this is allegedly. This is allegedly. All right? But it's a big knife, clear as day.
Actions were not criminal.
Social media is not reality. One video clip, devoid of context, can be very misleading.
Police say they found a knife and marijuana inside the car. McNeil is facing multiple charges, including resisting arrest without violence, as well as driving with a suspended license.
Wow. So, yeah, as the officer said just now, social media is not a reality, man. And I want to say that, reinnovate that to young people when you see people talking about, no, I'm not giving you license. No, I'm not stepping out the car when they pull you over. When you hear people on social media saying stuff like that, that don't mean you can do the same thing. That's not for you to do. So be careful out there in them streets when it comes being pulled over by the police. You guys got the media, you guys got the internet. You guys like to Google a lot of stuff. Google the laws, young people. Especially those who haven't been in trouble yet. Google the laws. Google your rights. Google what you should do or what you shouldn't do when being pulled over by the police. Don't let people tell you you can do what you want. Don't let people gaslight you. Don't let people soup your head up by hollering racism, because those same people are not going to be on the side of the road with you when things go down, when the reality of things go down, when ego is involved, when emotions is high, when fear is high, when you by yourself, nobody with you. Keep in mind, you're getting it from me now. Keep in mind, be respectful, be kind, be courteous. Open windows, let your hands be seen at all times. Cut the light on inside your car on your roof. If anybody with you, tell them all, put their hands on the seat and shut up. They don't have to speak. You are the driver. Put your hands on the car and shut up. Don't be in the back seat talking about why y'all pull us over there. Don't do that. Tell them straight up, shut up. I got this. Because at the end of the day, your fight is not on the side of the road. If something was done wrong by the police officer, or if he was handled wrong by the police officer, you fight that in court. That's how you win. That's how you help change laws. That's how you do that. You're not changing no law on the street at that moment. All right? Much love and respect. Peace and blessings. I hope you guys have a good day. But I'll be back with some of these pullovers. Go to YouTube and type in police brutality versus black accountability on David Adams Podcast. I will be doing a few reacting videos on that. I think I have a few up there now. I don't know, maybe it's 2 or 3, but I've been doing a few, okay? Much love and respect. Peace and blessings. DAP.